Okay, now, I thought I had recorded this last week when I was working on this initially, but guess I wasn't. Red light's on, so I know I'm recording this time. Alright, this fence was really, really loose. Okay, looser than it is right now. And looks like I gotta pop another weed down there to, so this fence will go tighter. Anyways, what I've been doing is to take my lineman's pliers, these things here, okay? I don't know if I can do this. Let me see here. I got cat. Alright. See, I'm right-handed, and this camera is right-handed. So, alright, let me see what I can see. Where are we? Okay, there we are. Okay. You take your lineman pliers like this, and you give it a twist. Okay, now, I'm doing this with one hand. I can't get it very tight, okay, because I'm doing this one-handed. But you see there's a little kink there, and you see the kink next. I'm going every other one, okay? All the way up to the top and all the way down to the bottom. Okay, now that's what I'm doing on this fence. Okay, so I can get it nice and tight, and then this board here is long enough. I'm gonna have to trim it a little bit. Is going to get nailed on from between that post and this one. Okay, and then I can nail the bottom of the wire onto this board. And hopefully, I asked them to leave me two. I'll put another one on the bottom of this one here. Okay, I got to tighten this fence up a little bit too. This one's not nearly as bad as the other one was. And then, when I have that on, so long as she's left me two of the long boards, I'm going to put another one up a little higher, a certain distance. I've got some pressure treated smaller pieces of wood that I'm going to use to build a gate for the chickens, a chicken gate, okay, that I can swing open, close it if I need them to stay in here for whatever reason, or swing it open so that they have access to the horses, to the horse area, okay? Because it's very good for the chickens to get out there and mess in the horse poop and just scratch around out there. It's also good for the horses because they help break up the poop. It helps get the flies and whatnot down. It's very beneficial for both animals. Okay, so that is the plan. And hopefully they'll go in there and they will stay out of the garden area. Yeah, that is supposed to be a garden area. Unfortunately, right now it's a dumping ground. Yeah, because the son who is doing the building project around here only cares about the area that he is working on and just dumps everything over here. So, of course, I can't say too much. I got my own dumping ground right behind the chicken area, but that's going to get cleaned up. I'll say, okay, but what can I say? Hopefully we can get that all cleaned up, and I don't know, she's got a little garden over there and she'll get a little bit out of it, but she's not going to get much. So hopefully next year this will be all cleaned up and organized, and she'll have a much better garden, and she can let the chickens out into the garden area when she doesn't have anything planted, before planting and after harvest. Let the chickens in there and they'll go through, they'll scratch through and eat all the grubs and bed bugs and stuff like that. Okay. Oh, looky, I've got someone trying it out already. What do you think, my dear? You think it'll pass the muster? What did I say last time about no chicken inspectors? It looks like I've got one. Alright, back to work. Now I just had to go out there and haul all that pokeweed out. It was just getting in the way. Pokeweed is a weed, obviously, that it's not really all that bad, and I kind of let it grow. because it provided shade for the birds. So I wasn't going to knock myself out with cleaning it out or anything like that. It's easy enough to get out when you need to get it out, which I just did, except for that one piece that's between the two fences. I have to take the shovel to the root of that. I mean, the birds do eat the berries that it produces, and they make a lovely purple mess when they're ripe. But what I'm thinking for next year is planting peas between the two fences, and seeing if the chickens like that. It would be a chicken garden, you know, plant peas and whatever else there that I think the chickens would like, and they can like pick at it through the fence and whatnot. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. We'll see what happens. So this fence is just about to where I can put that board down. I'm getting there. It's a lot tighter than it was, a lot tighter. And I don't know if you can see on video how many of these little kinks I've put into this fence. All right, you can see along there all these kinks, except for the section where I had to unfold the fence because the son didn't think anybody else could use this stuff over again. Pardon me, I get a little bit bitter about the guy. I put a lot of kinks in here to straighten up, tighten it up. It's coming along pretty good. Yeah, I'm just about ready to put this board on. And there's the baby ducks. They're coming to say hi and to supervise. Yep, aren't ya? You gonna dig out any good gummies? Yeah, I gotta see if I can't break up those clumps. Oh, speaking of weeds, let me see if I can find some. I might have mentioned this before. Jimson weed. Jimson weed is very toxic for everybody. Let me see if I'm getting this in the right here. This plant right here, very toxic. Easy to pull out normally. Okay, shallow roots. Even I heard of one situation where a woman just mowed a whole patch of it, and she ended up having to go to the hospital because it made her sick. Because she inhaled it. I mean, you can't even burn this stuff. Okay, it's not poisonous to your touch, but if you inhale it, ingest it, it's very toxic. So this weed is of no value. Okay, it's no good. Pull that out. Every time I see it, I pull out the Jimson weed. And you know what? I'm not sure that one was Jimson weed. Yeah, maybe it was. Okay, so plants that aren't bad. You know, we got the clover. Let me see if I can. Got the clover. And I don't know what this plant is. It gets pink flowers on it. I have seen the horses eat this, so I'm assuming that's edible. But it's a kind of viney, so if it gets in my way, I'll pull it. A friend of mine, she knows pretty much about most of these plants. Another thing that they just love is, all right, let me make sure I get this right. Not dock, plantain. And I think that's some plantain right over here by the ducks. So I don't worry about pulling that because I think the chickens eat that, which is good. Anybody can eat plantain. It's supposed to be good for you. There's some more Jimson weed I see. Yeah, this stuff is bad news. Bad news. No, this isn't Jimson weed. This has got thorns on it. So I don't know what that one is. That's right. There was a plant that looks a little bit like Jimson weed, but it's got thorns on it. So you don't want to pull that one without gloves. Alrighty. Another weed we get a lot of here, if I can find some, I just pulled some, is pigweed. And I'm not seeing any readily right here in my feet. So maybe I got all that out. If I come across some, I'll point it out. Well, back doing the fence. Last week when I was working on this fence, I ended up getting a blister on one of my fingers. So I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious about how I'm using those pliers. So, all right, getting back to work. Okay, I've got the fence, I think, tight enough to get this board on. Got lined up there, and I've come down here and I have marked it right there about where I want to cut it. Doesn't have to be exact, but I guess I have room to nail down here if I can find some nails. If I can't find nails, I have to use screws, but hopefully I can find nails. Save the screws for the hen house. But all I need is 4 nails, and I'll get them started on the board before I line them up there, because I tell you, it's fun trying to nail something in that close to the ground. But this ought to work out all right. So let's get to cutting. Uh-oh. I just busted my drill bit. Right in that board. Right down there. Yep. Now I gotta try and get that thing out of there. This is gonna be fun. Well, I don't know if this is the right way, but it's what's working. Oh, great, there goes my drill. And she's out. Now I gotta try and get the nail out. Oh, fun.